Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 15, National Football League. I dubbed it Letdown Sunday in the National Football League. And I felt like a lot of teams had some opportunities presented to them and they just failed to take advantage of them. Here was a case where a team had an opportunity. They looked to be taking full advantage of it. And then they looked like they were going to let it slip away. And then they said, you know what? If we want any chance of going to the postseason, we got to have this one. And they took it. I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. 5-8 Titans at home hosting the 8-5 Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals had no idea what was happening in the Carolina game at the time. But again, all they can do is play football and win. You need help. But what's help if you don't help yourself? Can't help those who don't want to help themselves. And if you're Arizona, all you can worry about is yourself. All you can do at this point is win ball games and let the chips fall where they may and hope that at the end of the season, you've done enough to get into the postseason. At 8-5, if you can get to 9-5, you've got a legitimate shot at making it to the postseason if you win out and get to 11-5. Again, it's going to be a crying shame if someone misses the postseason at 11-5, but it's very possible. In fact, you could get to 10-6 and still miss the postseason as well. And so it's very frustrating because you look around the league, you look at the AFC, and somebody's probably going to get in with 9 wins over there. Possibly they might get to 10, but it seems like 9 is, and I've been saying this for a while, 9 is going to be the number to get in the AFC as a wild card for that number 6 spot. Whereas in the NFC, you could be 11-5, you could be 10-6 and not get in. You look at some of these divisional winners and you look and you say, man, we got 10 wins, and this team is going to get in with a 9-7 mark. That's probably going to happen in the NFC East. Could be a 10-win Philadelphia Eagles team. Could be a 9-win Dallas or Philadelphia Eagles team. You don't know. The same thing with this NFC North. Whoever wins that division is going to have 9 wins most likely. The Bears have a chance at 10, but most likely it's going to be a 9-win team. And so you look around and you say, these teams are getting in with 9. I'm going to have 10 or 11. It sucks. But again, all you can do is control what you can control, and that's winning football games and seeing what happens from there after. So this is a big game for the Arizona Cardinals. If you're the Titans, you're just playing spoilers. You're trying to save the job of your head coach, Mike Munchak. It might be a little too late for that, but you just never know. So 5-8 Titans at home hosting the 8-5 Arizona Cardinals. Huge matchup for these Cardinals indeed. Rob Baronis, good from 45 yards to get the scoring started in this game. It's 3-0 Tennessee. Cards respond with an excellent drive dominated by Andre Ellie, capped by a Rashard Mendenhall 1-yard touchdown. It's 7-3. You can always tell when Andre Ellie is in the game, he makes a huge difference, whether he's catching the ball out of the backfield, he's running routes like a receiver out of the backfield, or he's being handed the football and he's making plays. This guy is a walking play ready to happen, and he was able to help them get down the field and get in the end zone to help them take a 7-3 lead in this football game. Titans answer with a touchdown of their own as Ryan Fitzpatrick connects with CJ2K on a wheel route up the sideline for a touchdown at the end of the first quarter. Titans take a 10-7 lead on that beautiful play from Fitzpatrick to Chris Johnson. Cards go down the field on ensuing possession and tie the game at 10 with a field goal. It's 10-all after a Jay Philly field goal. So we're knotted up at 10. This game is back and forth. For a stretch there are about 3 or 4 consecutive possessions where each team got a score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. Teams were going back and forth, scoring tit for tat. And now we find ourselves at 10-all. And that's where we end up in the second half. And all I could say here was wow, because you rarely see this happen. Every now and again you get a clown back there and some things happen, but they always recover. The kicking team never gets the football in this case. But wow, opening kickoff of the second half recovered by Arizona at the Tennessee 23. You get a clown back there. They short kick it. They pooch kick it. And I want to say a backup tight end or something for Tennessee, or a fullback or linebacker. And some of these guys he just simply can't catch. He probably should have tried to fair catch it. Instead, he wanted to catch it and try to run. He muffs it. Then the ball's right there by him. Instead of him covering it up, he tries to scoop it up, and he muffs it again. And Arizona gets down there to get the football away from him, and they end up recovering. When does that ever happen? How often does that happen? Only something like that could happen to a bad football team like the Tennessee Titans. You got to be 5-8 or less to have something like that happen to you. That doesn't happen to the Denver Broncos. That doesn't happen to the Kansas City Chiefs. That doesn't happen to the New Orleans Saints, the Seattle Seahawks, the Carolina Panthers, the St. Louis Rams, San Francisco 49ers. That doesn't happen to those teams. This happens to the Redskins, the Falcons, the Titans, the Raiders. This is the type of stuff that happens to bad football teams. The Texans. Yeah, some nonsense like this happens. Wow. So, Arizona in business at the Titans 23, but they can only get 3 out of it. But that's 3 free points. I mean, you didn't expect to have those 3 points be given to you like that. So, you'll take it as 13-10. Arizona leading in the second half. After a couple of personal fouls extended their drive, the Titans take the lead with a Delaney Walker touchdown at 17-13. And what can I say? You get penalties. It's going to come back to haunt you. A couple of personal foul penalties on this particular drive help aid the Titans get down the field and score a touchdown via Delaney Walker. 17-13 now. Titans are in front. Jake Ballard steps up and gets Cards a touchdown from 4 yards out as Cards assume the lead again at 20-17. Jake Ballard was filling in for Rob Hausler, and this is the problem I have with Rob Hausler. You got to stay healthy, man. You're an impact player. When you're healthy, when you're out there, you're a difference maker. You're a mismatch nightmare. A lot of teams can't cover you because you're athletically gifted and you can catch the football and make some plays, but you got to stay healthy. You're injured again. Jake Ballard filled in and was able to make something happen, gets a touchdown. It's 20-17, Arizona back out in front. Darrell Washington, taunting penalty, extends the drive. Then he drops a pick six, but Rob Baronis misses from 52 yards out. So no damage, no harm, no foul. But Darrell Washington has to be smarter. Again, when you're fighting for your postseason life, a penalty here, a penalty there could be the difference in you winning and losing a football game. Again, this is a game that traveled into overtime. And if Rob Baronis decides to connect from 52 on that possession, who knows? That could have been the difference in this game, going to overtime and you losing in regulation. Darrell Washington, he's one of the leaders on this team. He has to be smarter than that. He's a guy that had some off-the-field issues and was suspended for the beginning of the season. He's got to be better on the field. He's one of the better players on the defensive side of the football. He's got to know better. He got up after a tackle. He's taunting in the face of the offensive player. He gets flagged for that. Then a couple of plays later, he has a chance to redeem himself. Easy pick six down the sideline. If he catches it, he drops it. Bobbles it 3 times, drops it. Got to catch the football. He made a lot of mistakes on that possession. Could have cost his team. Luckily enough for him, Rob Baronis did not cash in. No harm, no foul. So we're still at 20-17 at this point. Rashard Mendenhall, 1-yard touchdown run, caps off a methodical march down the field by the Arizona Cardinals. Nice mixture of run and pass. Carson Palmer, very solid on this drive. They were able to run the ball as well. And that extends the lead out to 27-17. So it's a 10-point lead. And we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty of the game now. We're talking about, 9 or 8 minutes left in the ball game. So you're up by 10. You get a stop, you can get another score. You can put this game out of reach. And that's exactly what the Cardinals did, but they did it in an unconventional way. Pick six by Anton Cason puts this game out of reach at 34-17 with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. At least I thought this game was out of reach. This is one of those times where, you look up at the clock, 6:22 left, Cards up by 17. Titans don't have much to play for. This game's over. So I get up, I walk away, I leave. And I actually turn the television. I'm not watching the game anymore. And I'm watching something else, and I see the score flash up, and I say, oh, let me see how much they ended up winning by. And I see the game, and I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. I thought I was seeing things. I look and I see 37-34 overtime, and I said, I did one of those double takes, what? Like I glanced, I saw like, what? 34-37 overtime? What? What just happened? That game was 34-17 with 6 minutes and some change left. So of course, I had to go back and watch it just to see what happened, what transpired, and what transpired was a really funky sequence of events that allowed the Tennessee Titans back into this football game. Let's go over it. 6 minutes and 22 seconds left after the Anton Cason pick six puts this Cards team up by 3 scores, 17 with a 34-17 lead. Tennessee scores on a 9-play drive as Michael Preston catches a 10-yard touchdown to cut the lead to 10 at 34-24. Michael Preston filling in for the young sensation in Tennessee, Justin Hunter, who was out with an injury in this game. So, and Preston filled in quite admirably as well. I mean, he was huge, and you'll see why. This is the first of 2 touchdowns for him down the stretch. There's 3:17 remaining on the clock. They kick an onside kick. They do not get it, do the Tennessee Titans. So you're thinking, okay, Cards are going to have a chance to really work on the clock. And if they can pick up 2 first downs, this game is probably over. It's probably over. But they go 3 and out, give the Titans back the football. Titans kick a field goal with 52 seconds left. They cut the lead to 7 now. 1-score game at 34-27. Now, they got to have the onside kick. They don't get it. This game is over. Onside kick recovered by Titans as L.B gets smashed. And, of course, I'm talking about Larry Fitzgerald. He's on the hands team, and he gets walloped by Jackie Battle. And Larry had it. Larry let it go. And he got knocked out, I think, temporarily. I don't think it was one of those, unconscious, cold. I think he blocked out for a quick millisecond. Ball came out. Titans recover. And Larry didn't come back in the game. He had concussion-like symptoms from that hit. They had to test him to make sure he was okay. And so Titans get the football. 5 plays later, with 14 seconds left on the clock, Michael Preston does it again, this time from 8 yards out. Ties the football game at 34. We're going to overtime. And in overtime, Titans get the football first, and they're making a mad dash toward the end zone. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick makes a Ryan Fitzpatrick mistake. And this is what Ryan Fitzpatrick can do. He can give it like he did at the end of regulation. He can take it away like he did here in overtime. Throws another pick to Anton Cason, who returns it into Titans territory. From there, Rashard Mendenhall takes over and gets some great gains on the ground, sets the Cards up with a field goal for Jay Feely as he's able to knock it home, and the Cardinals escape disaster on the road in Tennessee and get the win 37-34. This would have been devastating. If this is the way your season ends, if you're Arizona, this one is crippling because you have this game by 17 with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left on the road. You think, hey, we've gotten ourselves a solid road win here. We earned this one. And then in the blink of an eye, the game is tied. And you're lucky that Tennessee didn't go for 2 because at 5-8, most coaches might say, you know what, to hell with it. Let's go for 2 and win this game right now. But again, you're the home team. Maybe you feel like, hey, we can go to overtime. We've got the crowd on our side. We can win this game. But much like the Redskins and the Falcons game, a lot of coaches, when their team isn't going anywhere, they decide to just go for 2. Why not? And if the Titans were to get that, you lose this football game. So you were able to escape by the skin of your teeth. But I tell you what, why do people say that? Is there actually skin on your teeth? I don't know. Anyway, Cardinals get the win. They go to 9-5. Huge victory for the Arizona Cardinals. You stay relevant. At 9-5, you're right there, again, in striking distance. If the Panthers are to slip up, if the 49ers are to slip up, and you still got those same 49ers last game of the season at home, you could still get in. All you got to do is win. And right now, we're in full-out Al Davis mode. Just win, baby. Just win. You can't worry about anybody else. You can't do any scoreboard watching. All you can do at this point is win and hope that someone else does you a favor, or you can do your own self a favor and beat the 49ers in week 17 and hope that they lose in week number 16 and you're able to get it done. Now, they're playing the Falcons. I don't see the Falcons going to Candlestick, the final game in Candlestick Park, and beating the 49ers, but anything is possible. That's why they play the game. So you just need to take care of business. And you did it here, although it was close, albeit it was a brow wiper. Whew. It was a brow wiper. You got it done. You're 9-5. Titans go to 5-9. I think Mike Munchak is going to get fired, but his team put up one will of an effort in this game, just not enough, as the Cardinals get it done on the road, 37-34 in overtime. So that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. I got plenty more videos to break down, so come back and join me week number 15 in the National Football League.